Getting into our Week 7 recap today. Really fun week of games. Got a lot of takeaways. I'm going to delve into detailed reviews of 3 of the games that I had my eyes on, but I want to talk about one, are we going to get a shot of Arthur Blank, owner of the Atlanta Falcons, looking just defeated as they take a last-minute loss once again each week? Clearly, it's going to be a total rebuild there, so that'll be exciting for the future of that franchise, but right now it's not looking too exciting. Clearly, Tom Brady and those Buccaneers are finding their groove and their chemistry, while the Patriots are finding whatever the opposite of that is. The Jets played a strong, finally getting it together a little bit there, even though Buffalo's defense did show up and they didn't pull out the win. I think Joe Douglas, GM for the Jets, is getting to see what he has in some young pieces there. LaMichael Pirine, running back out of Florida. Denzel Mims finally taking the field, wide receiver out of Baylor. So they have some exciting pieces to look forward to in the future there. And Cleveland, that last minute win, Baker. A lot of fun last minute wins on this Sunday. Obviously, seeing Odell go down tearing his ACL is not what any football fan wants. We'll see. I'm curious. Baker's the inconsistencies, but apparently he started to be consistent once Odell was out of the game. Maybe those storylines of him potentially trying to force the ball are true. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't want to speculate on things that I have no idea about, but we'll see. Maybe there's a better fit on a team for Odell, and maybe we'll see more consistency from Baker. Right now, it's just too up and down to be able to lead such a talented franchise, but there's a lot more football to be played. Let's get into detailed reviews on the rest of the games. Starting things off with the Dallas at Washington football team game. I'm going to start on the Dallas side of the ball. I could talk about so many issues on this team. Obviously, the defense looks next level awful, and the statistics show that. Historically they are. On the offense, Zeke's mistakes and Andy Dalton not being able to just do the bare minimum to keep this team at or above, slightly above 500. Even drops from talented receivers like CeeDee Lamb, but it all just kind of falls back into that bucket of culture to me. I don't think I've ever seen this as a Cowboys fan. I don't think I've ever seen this from this team, so it just seems like maybe this isn't the right fit in terms of coaching, and maybe things can turn around and shift. There's going to need to be a big shift from the leaders on the team and the coaches kind of being able to get through to them. Obviously, that egregious hit on Andy Dalton was not what anybody likes to see when watching football, but beyond that, the fact that a patchwork O-line didn't go after Bostic after the hit says a lot about the morale and about the locker room. But again, it's a patchwork O-line. These guys, they haven't even built that chemistry. So I don't know where to point the finger as a Cowboys fan, and I don't know that it just falls on one person. I think it's many things happening at once. Speaking of, though, that patchwork O-line, I'm hoping that an aging O-line and Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, La'el Collins is not that old, but those guys are able to come back and protect Dak, because this Washington front alone is going to be an issue over the next, for the foreseeable future. But credit to this Washington football team for being able to pull out this win. They looked really, I'm not going to say really good, but they looked good. They looked good against a really bad team. Shout out to Kyle Allen for being able to get the job done. They have a great piece there in Terry McLaurin. He was also able to move the ball with his legs, and that front is the Washington front. Those are my thoughts there. On to more fun matchups. That Steelers at Titans game was so good, as good as advertised. I think that we all kind of going into it knew that this is going to be a really evenly matched game, and it was. I cannot wait to see both of these teams throughout the playoffs. I think they're going to be dominant. Starting on the Steelers side of things, that offense was clicking and unstoppable from drive number 1. It had me hooked. Deontay Johnson was clearly Ben's favorite target this week, but that just tells me that they have so many ways to win, which is what you like to see from talented teams. Just balance across the board, whether you're getting the ball to guys in the backfield and James Conner or Benny Snell. They've got tons of wide receivers, 4 wide receivers they can get the ball to. Deontay Johnson was like the star of the show this game. We've seen Chase Claypool a ton. Juju Smith-Schuster obviously plays his role really well. James Washington steps up some weeks. So I think you're just seeing a team that's able to win in so many ways, and that defense playing almost lights out. TJ Watt looking like he wants Defensive Player of the Year, and deservingly so. He looks so good out there. I guess it'll be him and Myles Garrett like in the running for that, tearing up the AFC North. Yeah, shutting down Derrick Henry is no small task, and they were able to do that through the first half. The second half belonged to the Titans, which just tells me these teams, if they go toe-to-toe again, I could easily see the Titans winning it. They almost did, right? And so they were putting themselves in the position. I think Ryan Tannehill, again, everybody's down, like hating on him, thinking he couldn't come back and do it again this year, and he is moving the ball with ease. That closing drive was beautiful. Unfortunately, Gostkowski missed the kick, but that team looks really good, and their defense showed up that second half to make sure that they could put their team back in it. They were able to play their style of football, and the game never fully got away from them, even when it looked like, oh, they're down 14-0, there's no way they're getting back in this. I think they're just built to be able to come back from things like that. On both sides of the ball, really good looking teams. Again, can't wait to see them throughout the playoffs. And finally, the Sunday Night Football matchup that we have all been waiting for. The NFC West does it again, giving us quality football, an overtime thriller, this time with the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I have in my head that the Seahawks must be the team in the league that play in the most overtime games. Being a fan of them must be so tough. I feel like every time I'm watching them, at least in prime time, they're in overtime. And this game didn't disappoint unless you're a Seahawks fan. Obviously, play of the game that everybody's going to be talking about from now until the end of the season and beyond. DK Metcalf hawking down Budda Baker on what could have been a pick six. What a play. So much fun to watch. He is an incredible athlete, an incredible competitor. And shout out to Quandre Diggs, too. Russ threw another pick later in the game, and immediately after, Quandre Diggs picks off Kyler Murray. So clearly the team around Russ also helps, because it's a team sport, helps him out there even when their quarterback does make some mistakes there. You love to see that. That's what a championship team is built around. But I do hope that Seattle is looking to make a move maybe before the deadline, because they're going to need to build up that defense. I think that would be the only thing that would stop them from getting to the championship. That's really what's scaring me, especially when you see a defense like the Bucs playing so well and their offense finding like a stride there. That's my only concern. Tyler Lockett also had a heck of a game. I cannot not mention his great play. As far as the Cardinals play goes, okay, I'm going to start with the defense. Vance Joseph has to be getting like Assistant of the Year, because the complete shift in this defense is so much fun to watch. Budda Baker looks like he is absolutely finding his fit. Again, another week of, now I get interceptions too. Like, I got paid, that's what everybody was complaining about. And he picked off the ball once again, even though he wasn't able to get it into the end zone, again, because of that big TK play. But he also looked great blitzing. I think once Vance Joseph in that defense kind of decided we're going to apply some pressure late in the game too, with Byron Murphy going after Russ, I think they found success there. Chase Edmonds on the offensive side of the ball finding success. They had no real answer for him. So again, concerns with Seattle's run defense. Once again, we've talked about this through like the Minnesota game. Hopefully they get that together, but all around a great win for that team. Excited for what else is to come. Obviously some mistakes on film there, but they're on film now. So I'm curious how they start to just improve from that performance, and all of the draft fans hated seeing Isaiah Simmons with that final pick of the game. We haven't seen him much, and there's been a lot of complaints of, oh, well, is he actually being used properly and all of that? Well, he shows up when it counts. Sounds like a Clemson Tiger to me, essentially. Really good game all around. That is it. That's all I've got for you guys for this week 7 recap. And big shout out to those rookie quarterbacks. And now I'm wondering who's getting Offensive Rookie of the Year. Through the first few weeks, I kind of in my head made up Clyde Edwards-Helaire as my personal #1 candidate for that, but Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert playing at the quarterback position already get a little boost in that area, and the way that they're playing, I don't know. I think Justin Herbert might be taking it from Burrow if we continue to see him on the tear that he is. But again, so much football left to be played. We're not sure yet, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing already. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting. I will talk to y'all tomorrow with my Week 8 recap for college football.